if you remember this, Lorian, but I had to write that scene in Inside Out when Riley comes back after having run away at the very end of the movie, very fast. Do
Yep,
you
I
remember how
remember.
fast? Literally, it was like, well, it's 11 o'clock. Do you think you can have that scene done by 3? And I was like, what are we
That
talking
was
about?
me emailing you, telling you that. Hey,
And
Meg.
it was you. And I was like, what is happening? We just literally put it on a card on the board. But in some way, because we had to go so fast, um, I didn't have chance to put up all those the
Mm.
barriers, right? And I just had to get out, which is get what I'm saying about this coronavirus. It is offering you this chance to just get it out, right? All the lids on the vulnerability are off. So I just typed that. I remember as fast as I could. I think I did it like 2 different versions, maybe. And they were like, "Okay, let's read it to Pete. Let's go." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And it took until we were in that theater because in animation you screen boards with a theater full of people, and I'm in this theater and that scene comes up and I just felt, oh my god, I didn't even realize until that moment Riley coming home and saying to her parents, you want me to be happy but I'm not, was what I wanted to say to my parents when I was 11 years old. But I didn't have the courage at 11 to do it. But Riley did have that courage. And I was able to show in the scene, which I talked a lot about this with Pete, and Pete and I really wanted it to be so that the parents are also released into their own vulnerability and able to say, I miss home too. And that's the real healing, right? And I suddenly was like, oh my God, I'm in this theater and I felt naked. I felt like, oh shit, right? Um, and I remember after when the lights came up, it was dead quiet. Do you remember, Lorian? It was like dead quiet. And I was like, oh my God, not only am I fired, but I'm humiliated. And oh my God, this is
Waiting for the Rotten Tomatoes.
it was so bad. And I was like, I just have to go to the bathroom because I felt so vulnerable. I was like, I just have to go to the bathroom. I just have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. And I ran into the bathroom and there were women in there crying. Of course, my first thought was, I may not be fired. But by me, by Pete Docter being the very first person into the breach, right? Of course, it's his movie and what he was trying to say. And then as a writer, my job is to take his bravery and his insight and his theme and now really get personal and be personal so that I can also help lift his idea by being honest and vulnerable in that moment. The speed of it helped, which is why I'm saying in an hour you could do a lot. Like just write as fast as you can. It doesn't matter if it's good. I had no time to worry if that scene was good or bad. I just had to write it, right?
Mhm.
So theme is very vulnerable. Can feel like lava. It can be the thing that, but it can also be so illuminating. Like I didn't even realize that that's what I wanted to say to my parents. I could never have put that in words. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there were
Yep.
no words to that feeling, but Riley gave that feeling words.
And I think that's what it is, that the writing process and this vulnerability is self-discovery, which
Right.
is terrifying. And that's where you find your point of view about something, right? The themes that you want to